The only thing in life you can truly control is your mind. You can't control other people. You can't control the weather. You can't even control your health. Your heart might stop beating. You don't make it beat. It just goes. So it's going to turn off one day. The only thing you can control in your life is what you think in your mind. So if you're going to sit there and go, oh, I'm sad. Well, you can change that if you actually try, but you don't. You just accept it, right? So people have lost control of their own minds. And I don't understand why you would allow your own mind to take power from you. Why would you let your own mind convince you you're not a lucky person, or I'm not this, or I'm not confident? Why would you let your own mind sabotage you? Why wouldn't you reprogram your own mind to be on your team? It should be your ally, right? My mind is my ally. You can dump me in a bikini in the fucking Arctic Circle to die. 2 days later, I'm coming to your house, knocking on the door with 3 girlfriends in a Cadillac. I'm not going to sit there and go, shit, I'm going to die. I'm going to be like, okay, Andrew, you're the man. I don't know what the fuck we're going to do, but you're going to pull this off. I really believe in that irrational self-confidence to some degree. Doesn't mean be a jackass. Doesn't mean be an egomaniac. But in certain scenarios, there's absolutely no benefit to doubting yourself. When I was about to get in the cage, even if I knew the guy was a killer, there is no benefit to me thinking I'm going to lose or I might lose. No benefit. If I lose, I lose, right? But you have to completely believe you're going to win. That's the only way you're going to do your best. I would never believe I'm unlucky. I would never believe anything negative about myself because I refuse to self-sabotage. I have enough people out in the world who want to sabotage me. I'm not going to do it to myself. But yeah, no, I'm absolutely an extremely lucky person. And I know I've been lucky in my life. A lot of hard work went in as well. But yeah, there's a degree of luck in everything. But I'm an exceptionally lucky person.
We live in a comfortable world now where people think, oh, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But you know what? To some degree, it does matter. It does matter. And I'll tell you who it matters to. It matters to your soul and it matters to God. I stand in the mirror with a pure heart. I know I am the best version of me that could possibly ever exist. I know that God is proud of me. There's nothing that God hates more than sloth and laziness. If God were to create a man and that man were to sit around and do fuck all, God will frown upon you. It's why you're never lucky. If you're listening to this and you think I'm never lucky, I'll tell you why, because God dislikes you because you're lazy. Start to work. Start to show God the beauty of his own creations. You'd be amazed how lucky you'll become. God is unhappy with these people. And inside their hearts, they're unhappy. We talk about depression, anxiety, all those things you mentioned really earlier on this podcast. That comes from self-loathing. You loathe your own weakness. You loathe your own laziness. This is what all of these things are. I don't feel depression. How can I feel depression when I'm the most powerful version of me that I could ever be? How can I feel depression when I could squeeze my own hand hard enough to break my own bones? How can I feel depression when I've smashed and destroyed 68 people's faces in front of me, men who thought they could test me in fair combat? How can I feel depressed? It's impossible. Do you understand? Everyone's mind is fundamentally fucked. All of it. Look at me. I blinked. I cured my brain. I used basic indefatigability. I used perspicacity. I used compendiousness. I used my mind and I focused. It's not difficult. There's just no competition because everybody's distracted. They're getting distracted by this, distracted by that, like jackasses. It's so easy to win if you can control your own mind. But it seems that nobody can.
I absolutely refuse to take my own power away. There are so many things in the world trying to kill us. Like you got enemies. You got people on the streets with blades. You got bacterias, lions. Oh, I've got enough enemies, bruv. Sharks want me dead. I've got enough enemies. Why am I going to take my own power away? And this is what people really don't yet understand. There's only one thing on the planet you actually have control over. You can't control the weather. You can't control your health. You can get a brain aneurysm or a heart attack. You can't control other people. The only thing you can actually really truly control is what you think. That's the only thing you can change in real time. You can be thinking of red and change it to blue. So why are you not controlling your own mind? It's your asset. It's your ally. It's your friend. Why would you make an enemy out of the only thing you have control over? I refuse to do that. It doesn't make sense to me. The worst thing on earth that could happen to a man could happen to me. And I guarantee you, I would still label myself happy. I'm happy because that's who I am. That's how I view myself. That's what I've decided.
Nearly every word that comes out of my mouth is self-hypnosis. Every word that comes out of my mouth is self-hypnosis. And it's the same for everybody watching this. Every single word you speak is self-hypnosis. Every single thing you say out of your own mouth is almost more important than the things you hear from other people. I got a generational curse. I'm unlucky, bro. You can't be saying these things because you're reaffirming them within your mind. I don't do that. And as many people are going to sit there and say, Tate, you're delusional, you're a narcissist. You go through the world saying you're super lucky and that you're bulletproof and you can do all these crazy things. It's impossible for you to be depressed. You're a narcissist. Perhaps. Look at my life and look at yours. Yep. So let's talk about it let's look at it in pure metrics. Who came from a worse scenario at the start? Who had a worse background? Me. Who's now more successful? Me. Who's happier? Me. Who smiles more? Me. Who sleeps easy at night? Me. Why the fuck would I want to think like you? If thinking this way makes me a bad person, but I get fucking fantastic results from my entire life and everybody close to me gets fantastic results from knowing me and everybody close to me absolutely adores me, why would I want to adopt your thinking and be a sad fucking sack of shit sitting on the internet trying to cancel people like a dork? I don't want to be my enemies. There's not a single enemy I have that I'm remotely envious of in any regard. Every single one of them has a shit life and a shit existence. Mm-hmm. I already won. God's already punished them. God's already rewarded me. I know these things. I'm the luckiest man on the planet. You have to say these things and you have to truly believe them.
Listen to me. One of the only things in this world you can control is your state of mind. You can't control the weather. You can't control other people. You can't even control your health. You might get a brain hemorrhage, or you might get hit by a bus, or you might get assassinated. One of the very few things in the world you have genuine control over is your state of mind. You decide if you're a disciplined person. You decide if you're a happy person. You decide if you're a depressed person. These are things that in real time you can affect in your brain. This is all you can control on earth. If you can't control that, then you're just a feather in the wind. And life's going to blow you around and you might land somewhere good. You might land in dog shit. Nobody knows. So if you're going to be that kind of person, then you're at, like you said it perfectly. You have no will, then you're just at the whims of the earth. Who knows? Your state of mind is what you should be able to control. If you can't wake up and say, today I'm making some money, and actually try your very, very best and actually stay dedicated to that task. If you can't do that, you're fucked.
How I feel doesn't cross my mind. I don't know how else to explain it. There are days where I'm pissed off or sad or happy. It doesn't cross my mind. It's just like I woke up, whatever mood I happen to be in, I have things I need to do. It's a busy day. Zuby's here soon. I need to go training before he gets here. I had a meeting with the bank at 7:15 a.m. I have shit to do. Like, I didn't cross my mind if I was happy, sad, excited. I just had to work.
I don't wake up and go, I'm worried if I might feel sad today. Who cares? Who cares? I can be happy or sad on the same day. Nobody notices and the same things get done. The exact same amount of work gets done. Nothing changes.
I'm certainly not a person who doesn't feel emotions because we're all human. I certainly do. But I've never prioritized them in any regard. I haven't built a mental model that I haven't put them in the middle of my mental model and then affected my actions based on how I feel for each one.
Most people see people with things they want and they don't do the second half. They don't try and work out how they got that thing. Oh, my man has a Ferrari. Okay. I wish I had a Ferrari. Okay. They don't sit there and go for an hour. How did he get a Ferrari? It doesn't cross that part is the part they don't want to do, right? They just go, oh, he has a Ferrari. Wish I had a Ferrari. And they go back to TV.
You have to be able to hunt in the day and the night. You have to be able to do both. You have to be able to perform when you're happy and sad. You can't only be able to perform when you're happy. You can't only go to the gym when you're motivated. You can't only be a competent person when your life's going well, because when your life's not going well, you're no longer competent. Then you're going to lose to people like me. And it's player versus player. If you're the kind of person who can only do well when you're happy and you're competing against someone like me who can do well all the fucking time, guess what? You lose.
Lazy people never get anywhere in life. Doesn't matter what it is. Doesn't matter if it's tennis or money. If you're lazy, you're never going to get there.
Your life sucks. I don't think that's true. I think that your life just sucks and you should change it. And another thing I also preach, and this is another thing that's very important, I also think as a man, because life as a man is pain and suffering, and when I say that, because you're never going to be a good man or good at being a man without pain and suffering. You're going to have to go through a bunch of shit and have a terrible life to become a good man. I think you should embrace that and accept it. And I think that the correct mental model for men to have is a degree of stoicism and not to be too concerned with even how they feel. If I woke up today happy, I would have done this interview with you. If I woke up today sad, I would have done this interview with you. What's the difference? Why put so much importance on my emotion if certain things must be done? I must work. I must train. I've got things to do. So why are we going to sit around and talk about how I feel if it doesn't even affect how I act? And as a man, it shouldn't, because there's too much to do. And the masculine world is hyper competitive. This is another thing most people don't understand.
Totally agree.
It's hyper competitive out here. All the women want a few men at the top. The Ferrari, you don't want a Ferrari to drive fast. You want a Ferrari because other men want a Ferrari and can't have one. It's hyper competitive. So if you're competing against every other man for every dollar you make, every girl you see, the house you live in, the car you drive, the life you live, you're not going to be able to compete with the person who performs regardless of how they feel if you only compete when you feel like competing. Right? Because there's men like me out there who will be sad every day and outcompete you regardless. I don't care how I feel. I will still win. And that's the kind of mindset you need to adopt. So I don't, when a man comes...
You've got a job to do. Stop whining. Go to work.
Completely.
I agree.
Completely.
Yes.
So when men say, I feel sad. Who cares? The world doesn't care. All the men who are out here to destroy you and take your girl don't care. So why do you care? Like the person who should care least is you. You're the only person who wakes up every day who should have a genuine vested interest in improving your life. Nobody else wakes up and wants to improve your life. Only you. So if nobody else cares about how you feel, why do you care? So my argument also for depression is, you're depressed, fine. Have you trained today? Well, that doesn't change what you should do with your life, depressed or not. And I don't say this because I'm an eternally happy person. I say this because I've experienced all ranges of human emotion. I never missed a day of training. I wouldn't say I was particularly happy, but push-ups must be done.
I don't even look at it as goals, because goals are something that you put on the wall to motivate yourself, right? So if you want to buy a car, you put the car on the wall and it motivates you to go to work to get the car. So that's a goal. Goals are for motivation. I don't work on motivation. I work on discipline. So I don't have a set goal. I just get up and do what I know I'm supposed to do. I don't work to try and afford that car. I work because I'm supposed to work. And then I can already afford that car and another one and another one and a boat and a plane and a house and another house and a land. And then I just work. I do my work. That is my duty as a man, is my duty to God. I train in the gym. It is my duty to God. I do my duties to God. I fulfill my duty. I'm an old school gentleman of honor and respect. I do what I'm supposed to do. I don't have any particular set goals. Anything I decide to do or want to do, I can do instantly. And if I can't do it instantly, I can do it pretty quickly. I don't need goals in that old traditional sense. I do what I'm supposed to do. It's not a matter of how I feel or how I'm motivated. If I was depressed, it's impossible, but if I was depressed, my life would be, and the day-to-day activities would be exactly the same as if I was ecstatically happy. You wouldn't be able to see a difference. I'd be up at the same time. I'd be in the gym the same. I'd be doing the same shit. Those are my duties to God. How I feel has nothing to do with it. Completely unrelated. How I feel is unrelated to my duties to God. They don't change based on how I feel. They're the same. And they will be completed because I refuse to fail God or my bloodline.
I'm so emotionally, I don't want to use the word hard, but I'm so emotionally controlled that I don't view most men as capable, because my number one strength in my life is my emotional control. I can be on the Titanic and it can be sinking, and I'm still going to be sitting there thinking, okay, cool. All right, shut up. What's the plan? Stop screaming. Okay, the water's cold. Let's work out. Let's do something. Like, I'm a very rational person, and most men are not as rational as I.
The human mind is a massively misunderstood and underused chemical factory. That's all it is. It's the reason you feel happy. It's the reason you feel sad. It's the reason you feel excited. It's only chemicals in your brain. And I think if you try and take conscious control of your mind and force yourself to feel what you want, when you want, you can truly start to feel emotions on command. I don't think that men should ever consider how happy they are. I think that for a man, the paradigm of analyzing yourself based on your mood is an incorrect way to approach life. I don't think it makes you competitive. I just don't think it makes you competitive. I feel like as a man, life is ultra competitive and you're constantly competing against other men, whether you realize it or not. The girl you want, other men want. If you get her, it's a competition. The dollar you want, other men want. If you get it, it's a competition. The status you want, other men want. If you get it, you won the competition. Man, life as a man is hyper competitive, and you need to build a mindset that allows you to compete at the highest echelons, at the highest levels. And in my experience, the people who compete at the highest levels are not people who have any concern or care for how they feel on the day. You're a man with duties. You're a man with responsibilities. You must perform. You have things you must do, and you must do them regardless of how you feel. Whether you feel happy or you feel sad, you must still train. So considering it's not going to affect your actions, why even take it into consideration at all? Why does it matter? I don't look at myself and go, how do I be happy? I look at myself and go, how do I succeed and do everything I want to do and become competent and be successful?
That's what I'm worried about, achieving my goals daily. Happiness is a byproduct. It's a side piece. But if you're going to wake up and go, I want to be happy, well, yeah, to a degree it's feminine. It's also very childish because only women and children are so obsessed with happiness. But it doesn't make you competitive, because if you're concerned with being happy, that means you're only going to perform when you feel like it. That means you can't outcompete the men who perform every day regardless. And that's why, as a man, you need to be building a mindset that makes you as competitive as possible. And I think that considering happiness as a concept, as an idea in and of itself is a bad idea. I think it's insane. So it doesn't even cross my mind if I'm happy. It doesn't even cross my mind. I got shit to do.
Every man understands you shouldn't be complaining about things you cannot change. You have to play the cards you're dealt. To be born a certain height and then to sit there and go, what do I do? I'll tell you what you do. You become the best version of yourself, just like everyone else does. Nothing about the height is in and of itself enough value for me to be a valuable man. As a man, you build your value. You are born with the cards you're dealt. Sure, it'd be ideal. Look, I'd love to be 7 foot tall. I'm not. So it's the same argument. If you're 5'2", you need to become rich, strong, and funny, and charismatic, and interesting, and witty. If you're 6'4", you need to become rich, strong, well-connected. It's the same game. So to sit there and complain about it is asinine.
People email me their long lists of all the bad things that happen to them, and I reply, fantastic. You are so lucky. You have all the building blocks to become the exact kind of man you want to be. If none of this shit happened to you, when something else bad happens to you later, you wouldn't be able to deal with it. Fantastic. Bad things happened to Batman. They killed his parents. Do you understand? That's why he's Batman. You've just told me you have the building blocks. You might become top G when I retire. What are you complaining about? He goes, well, what do I do? I said, you need to work. Take all that trauma. If you're truly heartbroken, my friend, and we've all been there as men, if you're truly heartbroken, you can't sleep. That means you're going to get in fantastic shape. You better hit the gym. You have nothing else to do. Stop watching YouTube. Stop emailing me. I want pictures of you in the gym. Get to fucking work. Heartbreak's a fantastic motivator, as is depression, as is sadness. Great. Look at what's pissing you off and make sure it never happens again. If you were jacked and rich as fuck, she probably wouldn't have left your ass. All of you have a handful of this. I don't think you understand that. You could have been in a car crash at 4 years old and lost your legs. Do you have any understanding of how lucky you have been? This is pure luck. There's only luck has kept you fully able-bodied, sitting there, capable of learning and listening and becoming something. You don't really need to be that tall if you're important and rich. And when you walk in the room, you think when fucking Mayweather walks in the room, people give a shit? Fix that frame in your mind. You are viewing yourself as a short man. Stop it. Walk the fuck up and be the man.
I was a 4-time kickboxing world champion. For 12 years, I trained 5 hours a day, 6 days a week. And I was motivated to train probably about 25% of the time. The rest of the time I went because I am disciplined. You don't feel like going through that shit on a Wednesday morning when you wake up, but you have to do it because you're disciplined. You're either a disciplined individual or you are not a disciplined individual. There's a difference between want and want. And I say this all the time. People say to me, I want to be rich. And I say, okay, well, I want to be able to ice skate. But I don't want to be able to ice skate enough to go learn how to ice skate because I can't be bothered. I mean, surely if I could click my fingers and be a figure skater, I'd click my fingers. Who wouldn't? Well, I don't want to actually go train because I don't want it enough. And this is the exact point with money. Everyone wants money put on their lap. If you truly wanted money, you wouldn't be able to sleep until you fucking had it. And this is the point. Because when I had nothing, I couldn't be distracted. You couldn't distract me from what I wanted. That's who I am. If I want something, I'm going to get it. I do not need to be motivated. I'm a disciplined person. If I allocate X amount of time to work, I'm going to do it. But that is the bottom line answer. It's discipline. You're going to have to work when you don't feel like working. That's how it's going to have to be, or you're never going to be any.
The idea that men don't feel emotions is incorrect. We feel emotions. I would actually argue we feel emotions with certain emotions stronger than women. I would argue that we feel heartbreak stronger than women. I would argue we feel anger like a woman could never understand. I would argue we are extremely emotional. Rage, pure rage. Well, it's feedback. So when you get the feedback, it's all about how you internalize that and how you process it, right? It's having stoicism's not feeling emotions. It's feeling the emotion and going, okay, why is this happening? How much does this really matter? What's the most intelligent move on the chessboard? Chess is a fantastic game because in the game of chess, there's no luck. If you lose, no matter how well you played, if you lose, at some point you made a mistake. Even if it's the most minor mistake, you made a mistake. So you learn to understand that no matter what happens to you,
I don't think most of you realize that you do not have time. Everything is time. Time can be converted into anything. We all know time can be converted into money. People say often, time is money. This is true. Money is also time. You spend money to save time. Time is the enemy of the rich man, so he takes a private jet to save time. Money is the enemy of a poor man, so he waits in the bus to save money. But they're the same thing, money and time. So when I say you don't have time, this is something you need to remember because it's extremely important and you can apply it to most things. You do not have time to have a headache. Do you understand? I'm not saying you don't have a headache. I'm not saying your head doesn't hurt, but you don't have time for it to affect your life. You do not have the waking hours. You are being outcompeted and crushed by people who are more powerful and more connected than you'll possibly ever be, by people who know things you do not know. You do not have time to have a headache. It's simply not acceptable. How do you perform when you have headaches is a stupid question. The fact you've even framed it in that way shows that you don't understand the world. I'll give you another example. You don't have time to argue with your woman. Your woman started an argument today or yesterday, whenever, and you've been texting back and forth. You don't have time. You have things to do. There's unlimited work in the universe. You don't have time to have a headache or message girls or scroll Instagram. You don't have time for any of these things. Time is your lifeblood. It's all you've got. You can turn time into reputation. You could turn time into global fame. You could turn time into respect. You could turn time into a fantastic body. You could do anything with your time. You could choose a random embassy. You could choose a random country that you have beef with. Chile. And you could go stand outside the Chilean embassy with a sign saying, "Down with Chile." For no reason. But if you stood there every single day, after about 2 years, people would be like, who is this guy? And why does he hate Chile so much? You can turn your time into anything you want. So how are you going to waste it sitting around saying, I have a headache? Boo boo, I have a headache. But the question is framed incorrectly. If I have a headache, I don't care. And one of the main reasons I don't care is because my enemy doesn't care. You know, when I got injured, when I was training for fights, my coach would often say to me, is your enemy going to hit you less or show you mercy because of this injury? If you say, okay, we're about to fight, but halfway through the training camp, I hurt my foot. So, take it easy. No, he's going to try and destroy me anyway. So if he doesn't care, why do I care? And why does my coach care? Nobody cares. The people who are trying to steal your woman, and trust me, everyone is. The people who are trying to take the money that you want to earn and put it in their pocket before you can. The people who want to have large and gorgeous feathers on their peacock to show the world all the amazing things they've done. They don't care that you have a headache. So why do you care? You need to reprogram your mind. You don't have time to have a headache. You don't have time to be doing the majority of things you do. And there's always been and always will be. And we could talk about that again. We were talking earlier about competence, right? Do you think a woman sees you as competent if you complain about having a headache? Let's say you have a headache. It's fine. You have a headache. I'm not disputing that. Maybe it really hurts. That's terrible. If you go, oh, I've got such a bad headache. Do you think a woman looks at you and goes, yes. Oh, I found the guy for me. She may not say anything. She may say, oh, do you want a pill? But really deep down, this guy's a dickhead. I mean, if you got hit in the head with a hammer or shot in the face, fine. But why do you have a headache? From what? Scrolling TikTok. A lot of you deserve the failure you endure. The universe is very giving. I often believe people say the world's not fair. I'd argue that karmic retributions, and in the long run, all in all, is pretty fair. Karmic retributions are real. In the end, God gives you exactly what you deserve. So if you're not happy with your life, you have to ask yourself, do you really deserve more? Have you really tried 100% of the time? Did you ignore that headache? Are you as competent as you could possibly be? Have you given 100% every time you've done anything? No. You deserve what you have. You deserve your mediocrity because you're an average person. You want a Lambo and these women and a boat and whatever else you want because you see it on Instagram. But wanting something and deserving something are very different things. If you truly deserved it, you'd be working for it in a way that ensures it would be given to you by the universe. Every single thing I've ever wanted, I have got. Maybe not instantly, maybe not easily. In fact, certainly not both. It was always difficult and it always took time, but I really wanted them, so I always got them. And I put in enough work to show God and show the universe I deserved them, so he gave them to me. I cannot remember a single time, and I state this as a matter of fact, this is not hyperbole, I cannot remember a single time I have ever decided not to do something that must be done because I had a headache. Ever. Ever. It is easier if you enjoy it because you do not struggle with lack of motivation or lack of interest. For me to say you could honestly be world champion at something you hate is a lie. You can, however, be competent at things you don't like. You can be very good at something you don't like doing. To be the best in the world, you probably have to fall in love with it. But the way you do anything is the way you do everything. And you can fall in love with the idea of being good in general. So anything I do, I don't want to be bad at. I either don't do it or I try my very best all the time to become extremely good at it. I don't see the point in doing anything and being mediocre or being bad at it. What's the point? If I'm going to speak on podcasts, I want to be good at it. Anything I'm going to do, I want to be good at. Now, you should have enough respect for yourself that you're prepared to always put in the effort to give your best 100% because it is a habit. You should always give your best to anything you do. When you pick up a video game, you should give your best. When you drive a car, you should attempt to drive as efficiently as possible, using the brake as little as possible to not waste fuel, to make sure there's no close calls, no sudden braking. Most of you are just getting in your car and driving like a jackass from point A to point B, not trying to actually go, you know what, let me drive and pretend I have the queen in the back seat and I can't even brake suddenly. And I only have a fraction of fuel. How far can I go if I very smoothly, very calmly anticipate the traffic in advance, move my car in and out of the car so I barely have to brake, keep moving slowly and smoothly? Let me try and get good at this. The way you do anything is the way you do everything. And it is a habit to be good at things. There's nothing wrong with just being good at things. To be the best in the world, you have to love it. That's true. But you're not going to love the majority of things you do. That's not realistic. The world's not going to afford you a life where everything you do you're in love with. In fact, you're going to end up doing a whole bunch of things you don't want to do. And the life hack is, if you enjoy getting better at things, then you can be doing something you don't want to do better than you previously done it. And now you enjoy doing it because you were more competent and more capable at said task. You are now better at said task. Every single thing I approach with vigor because I like being good at things. And that's not because I'm arrogant. That's because I have enough respect for myself. And more importantly, I have enough respect for the people I love to know that I need to be good at things. When my children or when my women or my family or my people who rely on me, my brothers, anybody comes to me expecting me to do something for them, I need to have enough respect for them to know that I'm good at what they ask me to do. And if I don't know what they want me to do or I'm not particularly good at it, I'm at least good at learning. You can become good at learning so that you learn things faster. Good at concentrating. Good at taking a scenario seriously. These are all basic life skills that go along with bravery. That's going to put you in a competitive bracket amongst the masculine realm which exists today because most people can't even focus. Most people can't even focus or try hard at anything. So to answer the question, can you become world champion without loving boxing? No, you can't become the best in the world. However, you can become very good at it because you can have enough discipline to ensure that you go to training and you can make sure that you're the kind of person who, if you're going to go to training, you're going to try your best. Guys, you're going to go to training for an hour. Whether you try hard or don't try hard, you're going to spend an hour in the boxing gym. There is no reason to not try. That is a learned habit. And what you often find with people who need to be motivated into things, because they're not disciplined enough to do things and not disciplined enough to do things properly, they'll go and say, I went to boxing training, as if that's all that it's about. It's not about going to the training. It's about trying hard in the training. It's about giving it your all. It's about dedicating yourself. You're going to give an hour up anyway. There's no reason to not try. Most people go through their entire adult life without trying 100% hardly ever. Think about it. Even when you go to the gym, you don't try 100%. You try 60%, 7%. You don't try 100% at home. What do you try 100% with? Do you really try 100% with work? Are you really moving that mouse as quickly as you possibly can? No, you're not trying. So you have people who have gone through life and are going through life without even giving 100% of what they've got ever. And it's interesting because we're entering the most competitive period of human history. So you need to get very good at everything you do all of the time. You'll learn a lot of lessons about psychology in the boxing ring. Now, they're not related, technically. One's exercise, one's the psychology of people. But you'll learn in the fight ring, you'll learn that you're not tired when you're winning. You're tired when you're losing. That once you start to win, you get to find unlimited energy from the universe from somewhere, and you just continue to push forward, no matter how hard it is. Winning is easy. It's trying to turn it around when you're losing that is difficult. You take this lesson from boxing and you apply it to everything else in life. You apply it to money and say, once I start to make money, I know I will have endless motivation to keep making money. It's just hard to make money in the first place. It's hard to get over that hurdle, but once I get going, it's easy. It's a positive reinforcement loop. It's a spiral upwards into infinity. It's a tornado that takes you to the promised land. So to have that unique psychological conclusion, that unique psychological input, you had to become good at boxing. So it's very important that you're good at everything you do all of the time. Don't do it if you're not going to try. But you don't want people to learn bad habits. But it's a bad habit to coast. It's a bad habit to spend time and waste it. It's a bad habit to go, oh, I tried. I went. I didn't give it my all, but at least I went. You see this kind of cope online all the time. Yeah, at least I went. It's going that matters. That's not true. It's trying that matters. So you see this kind of cope. Oh, yeah, well, I didn't feel like going to the gym, but I went and just had a light session. Why? You went anyway. So why did you have a light session? If you're going to go, do it. If you're going to do it right. There's no point in half doing anything. You may as well have not done it at all. So this idea you can coast through things, this idea you can lazily try or pretend to try or just showing up counts, I dispute all of that absolutely. You give 100% of your heart, soul, and vigor to anything you do, and it becomes a habit so that it's all you know how to do. Before you know it, you're driving a car trying to do it as well as possible. And you're having a conversation trying to be as clear and compendious and concise as possible. And you're trying to make money as much as possible, as efficiently as possible. And you're trying to educate your children as well as possible. You're trying to protect your family as much as possible. You're trying to get as strong as possible. Because all you know is maximum limits. That's all you've ever done. You've never done any of this. That garbage can go out the window. So you need to get good at getting good at things. And you need to get good at trying 100% at all things, whether you like them or not. And this will give you a base level of competency in all realms, even if you're not in love with said task. Success is like being pregnant. Everyone says congratulations, but nobody knows how many times you get fucked. Absolutely. But that's the beauty of success, right? Because all the times you get fucked teach you the lessons you need to be successful in the first place. You would never be successful without getting screwed over. And also, you wouldn't be happy with your success without getting screwed over. The reason you appreciate that woman who's so good to you, who you trust with all your heart, who's loyal to you, is because that other woman cheated on you. If you had never seen a terrible, narcissistic, cheating woman, you wouldn't appreciate a good, kind-hearted one. There is no light without dark. So it's very important that you go through these bad things, one, to learn lessons, but two, to learn gratitude and appreciation for things once you have them. It's extremely important. Every time something bad happens to you, you need to say thank you to God. Thank you, God, for giving me this difficult time, for me to learn lessons, and for me to have more appreciation for my fantastic life in the future. That's how you should approach life. And especially success is exactly the same way. The lessons you'll learn failing along the way will ensure that when you get to the top, you can keep it. It's difficult to think of a scenario where being brave would be a negative mindset for you to be able to tap into, because bravery affords new options you haven't previously considered. If you're a coward, you don't have certain options on the chessboard because you simply don't have the bravery to make X moves. But if you are brave, you can analyze these moves. So you have a whole bunch of moves that most people don't have. Most people do not have the bravery to consider alternate paths. You need to be able to look at the chess moves that most people will not be prepared to make. And most people live very afraid. So bravery is an extremely important skill to hone. It's something you should practice. You should often sit and think, what would be the bravest decision I could make in this scenario? What would be the bravest one I could possibly make? And consider it. I'm not saying do it, but you should get in the mental model of considering it. Because quite often when you're a coward, brave decisions don't even cross your mind, ever. They don't even cross your psyche. They're not even something that's interesting to you. You haven't trained your mind to consider them. So you need to train your mind to consider bravery, because bravery is something that is going to universally apply throughout your life. It doesn't matter if you're rich. It doesn't matter if you're poor. It doesn't matter if you're in Thailand. It doesn't matter if you're in Peru. Having the option to be extremely brave and consider the options which are afforded only to a brave person is going to be something which is always going to benefit you. So it's very important that you consider and think about bravery as a whole, something I want you to hone. Life is sales. Convincing a woman to love you is sales. Work is sales. Life is sales. So fantastic thing to learn. Boxing, once again, fantastic thing to learn. It's very good. Your body and mind are connected. You don't have a strong mind without having a strong body. Fantastic. Who should you be before you become rich? Well, money is an amplifier. Money's not going to change who you are. It's going to amplify who you are. If you're a good person, it'll make you a very good person. If you're a bad person, it'll make you a very bad person. If you're a weak person, it'll make you very weak and cowardly and scared. If you're a strong person, it'll make you very brave. Money amplifies. So you actually kind of have to hope that you don't get rich too early before you've struggled enough, because men are built on the back of struggle. You have to go through pain and terrible things as a man and struggle constantly to be a good man. No man who has not struggled is a good man or good at being a man. But don't worry, I think God has a plan for you. You should be trying your absolute best to get rich all of the time. You should be struggling and working as hard as possible. And all of those lessons that will come with all the suffering and the difficulty will be amplified by the time you're a multimillionaire and you'll become the best version of yourself. That's how you become a top G. Wake up every day and be prepared to give 100% focus to all of the things you do. That's all you have to worry about. It's kind of like, if you worry about the work, the results come, the results are easy. Guys, money is easy. Money is easy. Women are easy. The life you want is easy. All you have to do is fall in love with the work. If you fall in love with the work, fall in love with being good at doing your work, getting it done, never missing a day, because the easiest way to make sure you never miss a lucky day is to try every single day. Lucky days exist, and you're never going to know if you have a lucky day or not unless you try every single day. Then you're never going to miss any lucky days, and you're going to pull it off, and you're going to realize it wasn't actually that difficult. All it took was consistency and constant effort, never being lazy and doing everything I'm supposed to do properly. When you tolerate something, you're admitting you deserve it. You're going to get exactly what you deserve in life. From women, from masculine friendship, financially, respect on the street, luck. You get the luck you deserve. If you try your very best in all things, and you pray, and you're really thankful to God, and you say thank you all the time, you start to become very lucky. Lucky things start to happen. You get the luck you deserve when you try. It's truly remarkable. When a woman looks at you and goes, he can do anything he says he's going to do, that's when you become instantly attractive. Competence is extremely important. That's the masculine world. And peacocking built this world. Don't let losers and brokies sit and say to you, oh, all our graves are the same, it doesn't matter. No, it does matter. You were not born to suffer and die without being remembered or leaving a mark on this planet. You weren't born for that. You were born to do something great and to be remembered. You were born to leave offspring, which are so fantastic, raised in your image, that you, by proxy, are discussed into eternity. Your bloodline becomes synonymous with competence and capability. That's why you were born. The reason the male peacock shows its feathers is to say, look what I have. There is nothing wrong with that. That's what built the modern world. All of the explorers who risked their lives on the 7 seas did it to say, look what I did. The most beautiful buildings around you, the cathedrals, all these things that were built by men saying, look what we have done. We have done something other people cannot do. Flexing in and of itself is not a stupid idea. It's actually a biological norm amongst men. Don't be confused. You don't want to flex asininities. You want to flex capabilities. You want to flex competence. You want to flex, look what I can do, which others cannot do. And respect often lies on the other side of fear. If there's a decision that everybody's afraid to do, but you do it, that is what's going to get you respected by your peers. But masculine brotherhood has been the basis of keeping you accountable. It's very easy for you to become the best version of yourself if all the men around you are pushing you all of the time. And they're ensuring that they are being their best selves, which is constantly pushing and striving towards successes. This is what you're supposed to do. You always have. This is why even boxers, although they fight alone, they train as part of a camp with other boxers. You're always pushing yourself all of the time. That's the primary objective of masculinity, is to leave your mark on the world. And it's easiest to do that if you have brothers behind you who are pushing you to be your best self. I don't know how to keep that fire going. What should I do? This is a really interesting question, actually, because it amazes me that so many people in the world still today, even though we have instant access via social media to the truly successful, believe anything they've done matters. So you've made 100 grand. You're still poor. That's nothing. That is nothing. 100 grand is nothing. It is my cigar bill for a month. It's nothing. You've changed nothing. You've achieved nothing. You need to compare yourself always and constantly to somebody who is outperforming you. You need to stop being so happy with yourself for these tiny little successes. This is what they teach inside of common pop psychology classes. Yeah, and take the small success and be happy with it and put little milestones and reward yourself for achieving the little milestone. No, that's not what you should do. The point is, the fact you can have a little tiny success and quit shows that there's something wrong with your mentality and your firmware in the first place. You don't know what success is. I don't consider myself successful. So how can you consider yourself successful enough to not work? All I do is work. I work 7 days a week, 18 hours a day, every single day, never missed a day, headache or not, ever. So I don't understand this mindset. And you see a lot of people do it, right? They'll say, oh yeah, I had a really great week and I made some money and now I'm in Costa Rica. You're never going to win that way. People often say to the extremely wealthy people, why do you work all the time? All you do is work. If I was as rich as you, I'd just go on holidays. Not understanding that the kind of person who goes on holidays when they have money is not the kind of person.
Nobody, absolutely nobody, gives a fuck about you as much as you're going to have to give a fuck about yourself. Nobody cares about you as much as they need to care to fix your life. Even your parents, even your friends, even all the people who think they care about you, they care about you. Yeah, sure, there may be 2 or 3 people on the planet who genuinely care about you, but nobody is going to come to your bed, drag you out of bed, drag you to a job, force you to work hard, go and get you a hot bitch, and go and buy you a Ferrari. Nobody is going to do that for you. You are never going to have any of the things you want if you do not get them yourself. Nobody cares about you enough to do it for you. This is absolutely true.
I always knew the answer to everything is raw action.
Yeah.
The answer to everything has always been raw action. My dad had a tweet about this. He said that raw action solves all. And he used to say this. I'll give you an example. If you're a farmer and you need rain for your crop and there's no rain, you can sit there and say there's no rain, we're all going to starve. Or you can stand up and do a rain dance. Now, will your rain dance work? Perhaps not. Perhaps the rain won't come. But I would argue that you're better off standing up doing that rain dance than just sitting there waiting to die. You have to do something. Raw action solves. So when I was broke, I was never like, I'm poor, what do I do? It was, I'm poor, I have to do something. If I was broke, I'd go for a run. That's why I was such a great fighter. If I was broke, I'd sit there and go, I'm actually poor. How do I make money? Dunno. Where can I get some cash? Dunno. What work can I do? Dunno. I'll just go for a run then. And I'll just go for 3-mile run.
What the you need to sit there and realize, whoa. I have a few years of consciousness, and even less than that, I have a few short years as a young man, because age will damage you. I mean, if you're a millionaire when you're 60, it's not nearly as good as being a millionaire at my age. I became a millionaire at 28. So you need to realize you've got a few short years as a young man, you're wasting them.
You talk to people and they're content. They're like, oh, I'm happy with what I've got. I'm like, why? Because there's people who have a whole bunch more than you. And I was never content having a normal life. I wanted an exceptional life. I didn't want a normal car, a normal house, a normal girlfriend. I didn't want none of that. I was like, no. There's dudes out here that have the best. Why do they deserve the best and I don't deserve the best? I really believe that. And this is something I've always had inside me. I just didn't understand why I couldn't have the best stuff.
I have a lot of guys ask me, similar to your question, a guy will come to me and go, how do I get a girl? I'm like, bro, you're a loser. Yeah, but I know, but how do I get a girl? Well, you're a fucking loser. You're a loser. Why are you asking me? It's like saying, how do I win a race with a push bike? You're racing Ferraris. What do you want me to do? Yeah. There's only so much you can do. There's only so hard you can pedal. There's only so many tricks and tips. There's only so many game things you can say, so many pickup lines. If you're a loser, it's going to be very, very difficult and it's going to get harder and harder. The game is rigged to become harder and harder for men. It's not getting easier. It's going the other way. And if you're going to be on a racetrack and there's going to be Ferraris there and you're going to be on a pedal bike or in a Nissan, you're going to get smoked. That's the game. You have to up yourself. You have to improve yourself. I'm not going to lie to anybody here and say you don't have to improve yourself. You can stay a loser and get chicks because you can't. Yeah. You can't. I will say this because I say it on every single podcast. If they lock me up for some insane bullshit,
the Matrix has attacked me.
If I carry on at the trajectory I'm carrying on, they're going to put me in jail because I'm too influential. For the people watching at home, they just need to sit and understand that the system does not make rules for the good of you. It makes rules for the good of the people who make the rules. And a lot of the life paths laid out to the average man at home today is not for their own good. It's only going to lead them to depression and misery.
There's no evidence in my file because I've done nothing wrong. Everybody knows I'm innocent.
This is a huge injustice the way we see it. They should not be detained at this point. There are not even...
They best get this guy, because if he comes out and he's free, oh my gosh. Can you imagine if he comes out and he's free, what his first life is going to be like? It could break the record. It'll be the talk of the world on how many people get. It'll be banned in countries. It'll be feared, because if you go after a person like this, you better have proof to arrest them or get them. You don't go through somebody like this because they become a big figure and their message becomes bigger. Specifically to the people that didn't listen to it before or hated it. They're going to say, why are you trying to silence this guy? And you don't think Andrew's going to come out telling the story?
I hope this pisses you off, because I'm telling you to annoy you that you're sitting there struggling to pay your bills. There are people out there making so much money you couldn't possibly fathom, who have anything they want all of the time. And you may sit there and go, oh, but they're miserable. A lot of them aren't. Trust me. They're having a great time. So you need to make a bunch more money, because there's money everywhere. I'd look at a beautiful woman and go, I can go on a date with her and she's absolutely gorgeous and perhaps we'll fall in love and it'll be great. But you know what? I just want to compliment her. I don't care about anything else. So you need to start identifying how your money is taken from you. Because once you identify how your money is taken from you, you can start to actually intelligently think about how you can take money from other people.
The only time being a man ever is good is if you become an exceptional man. He understood. Be near the money. I have no money. Money's over there. Well, let me get closer to it. No point staying over here on my fucking own. Let me at least get closer to it. That was a 17-year-old kid.
Money for us is a tool to shape the world. And I think that's what a lot of people also don't understand about being rich. That's what really is going to satisfy you in your soul. It's the power. It's not the, I can afford this. That's nice for a while. But really what makes you happy is there's 60 of these Bugattis on earth. Everyone wants one. Who gets one? I do. That's the fun of it, right? So it's power you're truly chasing. And if you want to be powerful, you can't be scared to invest money and spend money. A lot of people at home, if they want to make more money, need to invest in themselves. Yeah. They invest in themselves. And maybe they've been taught, well, if I just save. Let me say to everyone here at home, if you are saving less than 10 grand a month and you're just saving, your chance of being rich is fucking zero. You need to go and do something else and make more. Invest in yourself, get knowledge, pay attention to mentors, start another business, open something. You need to do something because you're not going to save your way to the top. The average person at home, you're not earning enough to ever save. If you never save 100% of your wage, you have to get to a level of earning.
When I found out about I just learned about how they print money. I literally could not believe it.
Money's not real.
For 3 days, I'm sitting around. So I'm like, what the fuck is this? So they can just print this shit?
Money is not real. It's not real. They just print it. It's not real.
Fair. Please continue.
Yeah, so money's not real. And I say that to people.
So it's not about money.
No, it's not about money. So what's it about? It's about power and control.
Yeah.
So I've been from the absolute bottom to the absolute top. I've seen it all. And once you get past a certain level of wealth, once you get past a certain level of money, but then you understand what money is, right? So we say about money not being real. Money is not real from a governmental perspective because they just print it. It's nothing. But money is truthfully the stored time and energy of other people. If you have money, you have stored time and energy of other humans.
Because people are hourly rates.
That's right. Because I can take that money and make someone else use their time and energy for X thing. So let's look at even American slavery, the slavery that most Americans understand. You're going to work for me. I'm going to give you a house and I'm going to give you food and you're going to stay here and you're going to work. Slavery is abolished. So now what do? You're going to work for me. I'm going to give you that. I'm going to give you some money. And that money is enough to only buy you a house and some food. We've just put money in the middle. Now, if I can make you do whatever I want for money, and I can print as much money as I want, you're my slave. Because I can print it from the sky and you need it to live. So you are my slave. Money's not real. So I have all of this money. I have the stored time and energy of other humans. And once you get past a certain level of wealth, you understand, which ties back to COVID, that you're not interested in money. What you're interested in is people. It's always been about having good people around you. You want a beautiful, doting, loving woman who's obsessed with you. You want good brothers who will stand by you and make you motivated. You want bodyguards who are going to protect you. You want people. And then you want to look at it further down the rabbit hole. You want to get more sinister. If you've been born into a lineage or a dynasty or the people who control the world, you want robot people. You don't want to be spoken to disrespectfully. In your empire, in your podcast empire, right? You now have a podcast. Would you allow a member of staff to come along and say, this is bullshit. I don't like how you do this. This is shit. You're shit. Or would you fire him?
I don't know if I would fire them. I would first try to teach them how to behave.
And if they didn't listen?
They're out.
Absolutely. So let's imagine you ran a country.
Okay.
All right. Let's imagine you ran the world.
So I say this to people. I say for the next 2 weeks, every time you spend money, even if it's a pound, write down how they got it from you. And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, all right, cool. You're walking down the street. You're going to Starbucks, you buy a coffee. Why did they take your money? Well, I wanted coffee. Yeah, but how? Okay, you wanted coffee, right? Cool. Did you only want a coffee because you saw Starbucks or did you want coffee beforehand? Why did you want their coffee and not another coffee? Did you buy a cake as well? Why did you buy a cake? All right, cool. So now you identified how they took your money. Then realize how they could have took more of your money. You bought a cake, but you didn't buy a sandwich. Why? The sandwiches weren't on display, or they looked cold, or they looked rubbish. Or the woman who was serving me was old and ugly. Maybe she was a young cutie and talked to me about bologna sandwiches. I would have bought one. Right? So you need to start identifying how your money is taken from you.
Because once you identify how your money is taken from you, you can start to actually intelligently think about how you can take money from other people.
I find it amazing when people say they don't have motivation. I have people come to me and say, I want to get rich. I don't have motivation. I want to work harder. I said, how can you not have motivation to get rich when somebody like me with a head start like mine is still working 18-hour days every single day, 7 days a week without having a day off? I'm going to crush you. You don't stand a chance. I will beat you. And you're just going to sit there and perpetually lose because you can't find the motivation to crawl up out the mud and stay a bug until you end up in your 15-minute city getting your 17th injection like a dummy, like a useless eater. All I do is work. Nothing is fun. I don't have fun. I don't even understand
sports.
I don't understand the concept of fun. The only sport I ever did was beating the shit out of people. Is that fun?
I wake up every day and I think, how do I make my life better? Nobody else wakes up each day and goes, how do I make Andrew Tate's life better? So if you're not the person who's waking up every day going, how do I improve my existence? Then nobody is. Nobody on the planet is considering improving your one spin on Earth.
No one else cares.
Nobody else cares. So if you don't care, then you're fucked. So you need to wake up and care. And it's amazing to me. Like you're saying, how did I find my mentors? I just tried a bunch of them. Like when I had no money, I would try very hard I'd listen to lots of different people, or I'd try different things. And I wasn't scared to invest in myself because I understand that, look, if he's taking time out of his life, then I need to reward him for it financially. And I tried very hard and I listened and I paid attention and I was never lazy. I don't believe there's a person on the planet who pays attention, tries their best, is never lazy, is on time, works hard, has a mentor, and is giving it his all, who isn't rich. I don't believe it. I think that if you do all those things, you're rich. And if you don't have any money, you're missing one of those key elements. Now, you can fool yourself and you can fool everyone else and you can pretend you're doing them. But if you're truly honest with yourself, am I finding people who are trying to teach me what I want to know? And am I trying my best? And the answer is fucking no every time.
Just even being around people with money, it's just a good place to be. I'll give you an example. I was in Romania and I have the largest car collection. And I went to and I drove there in my Chiron and I parked up and a kid came up and he said, hey, can I take some photos of your car? I have a car spotting page. And he goes, yeah, okay, I'll just be a few minutes. So he took a bunch of photos and he goes, oh yeah, okay. Well, if you want them, here's my email address. And I said to him, why do you do this? Like, you spend all day standing around taking photos of other people. He goes, oh, well, I skipped school and I skipped college because I knew if I take pictures of expensive cars and email them to people, I'll have email addresses of the richest people. Yeah. I was like, I like you. He got himself a full-time job that day. So he understood, be near the money. I have no money. Money's over there. Well, let me get closer to it. Like, no point staying over here on my fucking own. Let me at least get closer to it. That was a 17-year-old kid. Now he's making 10 grand a month in Romania from me. So like, at least being closer to it. So you're right. People should, even if they haven't got a penny in the world, should be going to these meetings about real estate, about investing, that especially if it's cheap, they should go. Just meet other people who at least have money. Have conversations about money. Talk about it. How are you going to get what you don't talk about?
And I look at them and go, yes. I think a lot of the problem with people, especially in the world today, is they misunderstand the difference between a dream and a plan. And nothing good in your life is ever going to happen by accident. If you see a guy in fantastic shape, you don't say, how'd you get in great shape? And he goes, oops, I just fell. No, he ate a specific way. He trained a specific time. He did specific things for a specific outcome. And it's the same with finances. And most people who are broke, if you say, do you want to be rich? Yeah, I want to be rich. How are you going to get rich? One day. You have no plan. You have no plan whatsoever. No actionable steps. No, you're not doing things daily. You're just hoping some point in the future, God's going to just dump it on your doorstep. Guess what? It ain't going to fucking happen. And unless you have a plan, a specific plan, I'm sure you guys had you had a plan and you worked hard to get to your points. I had a plan. Everything was like, okay, today we have to do day after day after day until you get there. And this is what most people don't have because they're too arrogant or too lazy. I don't think it's stupid. I think most people, if you laid out a plan and they tried their very best and they were willing to learn, could do it. I don't think people are too stupid to make money. They're just too lazy or too arrogant to make money. That's the problem with people.
A lot of people are obsessed with the idea of happiness. And especially as a man, I think that happiness can actually be a very destructive motivator. And when men sit and say, I want to be happy, I want to feel happy, To feel happy, a lot of the time you're looking for temporary hedonism. To be happy, you want to get drunk or take drugs or do something stupid temporarily, and it's very short-lived. I think you should instead be looking as a man to say, I want to feel proud. If you choose pride over happiness, you're going to make decisions that you're proud of and that people around you are proud of, and it's going to be better for yourself and better for society and better for everyone who loves you, everyone you care about. If you're the kind of person who searches for happiness, whether male or female, in my experience, people who search for happiness end up doing hedonistic, temporary, stupid things. When I find men who search to feel proud of themselves, I want people to be proud of me, and I want to be proud of myself, and I want to be respected. They often delay happiness. They often go through very difficult things and build things which are beautiful or build things which are difficult to do. They often go to the other side of fear to feel that pride. I did it. I faced my fear. I did it.
Yeah.
So I think as a man searching for pride or searching to feel proud is a pretty positive mindset for masculine achievement.
The reason I'm the luckiest man on earth is because God has given me endless building blocks to build a superhero. Give me I have endless sources of power. I can sit here right now and recall events that will prevent me from sleeping for 2 to 3 days. That gives me a superpower that other men do not have. They want to go to sleep. They're tired. I can stop being tired for days at a time. I can just have a thought. I can remember, I can sit, close my eyes, and use the power of my brain to vividly remember events, and I will not sleep for days. And when people come to me and say, oh, this happened, I'm really sad, or my heart broke, or this bad thing happened to me, I say, good. Thank the Lord that he's given you this endless source of motivation. You're wasting it. That's your problem. But it's been given to you. Nitrous oxide has been given to you. You just have to use it in the correct way. So I'm the luckiest man in the world because all the bad things that happened to me have given me all the building blocks to become the most fantastic man on the face of the planet. I don't ever sit and concern myself with, am I spending too much? If I thought I was spending too much, I would simply find a way to make more money. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people talk about efficiency as well. I've had people talk about working smart, not hard. That is true. But I believe that you need to fill your day with all of the hard work first. I think that working smart is a matter of being more efficient with all the time you should spend working. If you sit there and go, I want to work smart, not hard, so I work an hour a day, well, then you're still lazy. You should work smart and hard and do 15 smart hours a day. That's how you talk. Crypto pump, he made like $4 million in the last 3 years. It's like, oh yeah, so I'm waiting for the next pump. I was like, bro, the problem with you is you've now been ruined for life because you're 22, you made easy money, and you think that you don't have to ever do any serious work. You also have no skill. The problem is with the crypto pump, it doesn't teach you anything. You didn't learn sales, marketing, staff management, stress tolerance. You need that. Nothing. He doesn't know how to do anything. So he's just sitting there just gambling on shit coins, waiting for the next one to pump. And he's 22, and his ass is never going to want to get a real job, and he doesn't have any skills. So I think he's truthfully. I made this clear to him. So it can be a detrimental thing. It can be a bad thing. But in terms of making money, it's certainly easier than it's ever been because we live in a global marketplace now. You can reach the world, and all you have to do is have a message worth making people listen to. And it truly is the abundance mindset is true. I remember when I was broke. I thought everyone was broke.
You do.
Because I was broke.
100%.
And then you get rich and you start thinking, shit, everyone has money. Every supercar I want is sold out. Every diamond watch I want is sold out. The private jet charters are full. The yachts are full. Like, as soon as you get rich, you start
Who are all these people that got money?
Completed this year. I bought a bunch of them off plan, so I decided to rent, and I rented a house on the Palm, and it was $25,000 a day, dollars, and I rented it. And I'm sitting there, and the landlord comes and goes, I just got an offer for $35,000 a day. You need to leave. And I go, okay, well, I'll pay $40,000 a day. And then he came back and goes, the guy's offered $50,000 a day for a year. And I'm like, I'll get another one. But like, there's people out there with money like you couldn't fucking fathom. There is so much money in the world. So you do get to a level of wealth. Another time it hit me, I was at Monaco. I was sitting around dinner in Monaco after, it was on a car rally, funnily enough. And there's like 10 of us. And I just looked around the table by coincidence and I saw everyone's wearing a nice watch. And I thought, when I was broke, the idea, if someone told me they had 30 or 40 grand in the bank, I thought they were doing good. Now I'm sitting at a table, everyone's wearing a $100,000 watch. Nobody gives a fuck. It's just like, there's levels to the game. And when you get up to the top, you realize there's money everywhere. The abundance mindset, there are so many rich people. So if you're not where you want to be financially,
I hope this pisses you off because I'm telling you to annoy you that you're sitting there struggling to pay your bills. There are people out there making so much money you couldn't possibly fathom, who have anything they want all of the time. And you may sit there and go, oh, but they're miserable. A lot of them aren't. Trust me. They're having a great time. So you need to make a bunch more money because there's money everywhere. I don't think most of you realize that you do not have time. Everything is time. Time can be converted into anything. We all know time can be converted into money. People say often, time is money. This is true. Money is also time. You spend money to save time. Time is the enemy of the rich man, so he takes a private jet to save